If you want to learn about one of the best young defenders in the NFL, then check out this video about the stud in Dallas and Micah Parsons.
Big play offense that's not there. There's Parsons. He's got his second.
Out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Micah grew up loving football, and it showed on the field. After initially playing for Central Dauphin High through his first 2 years, my man transferred to Harrisburg, where he was somehow able to start at both running back and defensive end. As a junior, Micah recorded nearly 70 tackles and over 13 sacks, as he proved that he was no joke. The following year, my man was a beast on both sides of the ball, with over 1,200 yards and 27 touchdowns rushing the ball, along with 55 tackles and over 10 sacks at defensive end. Not many have the talent to play as well as Micah did on either side of the ball, and that's why he's special. Oh, and by the way, my man also played on the varsity basketball team. Like I said, special. Anyways, considering how well he played throughout his time at Harrisburg, it was not much of a surprise that Micah was a high recruit, but he was just on another level. Not only was he just a 5-star, but a top 5 recruit in the country with a near perfect 99 rating. All things considered, my man had a choice of pretty much any school he wanted, from Ohio State, Georgia, Oklahoma, and good old Penn State. So it was a tough choice to say the least, but in order to stay close to home and still play for one of the best programs in the country, Micah decided to become a Lion. Funny enough, Penn State offered Micah a scholarship after only 4 games as a freshman, and although he initially committed early on, it took a bit for my man to be sure of his decision until he decided to recommit a year and a half later. Nonetheless, going into his first season with the team, things were interesting from the jump as head coach Franklin told Micah that he'd be playing middle linebacker instead of defensive end. Not just that, but that my man would have a legitimate chance at the starting spot as only a true freshman, which must have been pretty dope. Considering how much of a stud he is, it wasn't that big of a surprise when he won the starting job, and I'm guessing he went into the season looking to prove why. I would say over 80 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a sack or so did that big time. And in fact, Micah even finished second in the Big Ten Freshman of the Year voting to good old Rondale Moore. Even though he fell short in the voting, in only one season, Micah was able to prove himself as one of the best young defensive players in college football. And so with that in mind, the fact that he was on the Butkus Award preseason watch list wasn't much of a shock, and was actually right on the money. Not only did he win the award, but he was a consensus All-American behind nearly 110 tackles, 5 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles. Considering that he was only a sophomore, these were unheard of stats no matter how good most players are. But like I've said before, Micah is not like many players. To follow the trend of not being like many others, my man opted out of the 2020 season and then declined eligibility in order to take his talents to the next level the following year. Although he didn't play the previous season, Micah was still one of the top prospects in the draft, and so it wasn't a surprise that he went high off the board.
Oh, here we go! So Micah Parsons from Harrisburg, PA.
Just like when he went to college, Micah was a hot commodity out of Penn State, and so although he didn't play in 2020, he was still able to go 12th overall to Dallas. Honestly, it was a surprise that he even went that low in the first place, because many considered him the best defender in the entire draft. Although a decent bit to live up to, it was nothing new for someone who was a top 5 recruit out of high school, and so it seemed like Micah was destined to do his thing with the Cowboys. Just like his first year at Penn State, Micah was able to start going into the season, but this time it was because DeMarcus Lawrence broke his foot. Instead of just playing a linebacker like he did at Penn State, Micah was also able to do his thing on the D-line just like at high school. From the get-go, you could just tell that he was a stud, and his over 60 tackles, 13 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles just reinforced that his time at Penn State was not a fluke. Micah played like a 10-year veteran as only a rookie, and so it wasn't much of a surprise that he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Not only was he just the best rookie defender, but a Pro Bowler, and crazy enough, first-team All-Pro. My man was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year in his first season with the Cowboys. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Considering how well he played as only a rookie, the sky's the limit for Micah's potential, and honestly the sky might be a bit too low for my man. Micah could easily become the best defender of the 2020s if he is able to keep improving his game year after year. And it's crazy considering he's only played 1 year. It doesn't matter where you put him, what you do with him, he can do it and do it well. He can go after quarterbacks, help in the rushing game, and keep anyone who goes up against him on their toes. Micah is just one of those guys that could elevate whatever team he's on, and considering how up and down the Cowboys defense has been over the past few years, I would say that he's done just that in Dallas. It's not a lock that Micah is going to be a Hall of Famer considering how much unknowns there are, but at this pace, I wouldn't say that there are many at all on his level. He wants to keep growing and to keep getting better as a player no matter where he has to make plays. My man Micah just wants to be the guy that goes the extra mile and does what no one else can. That type of work ethic is shown in how Micah talks about DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus has talked about wanting to reestablish himself as a dominant player, And to that, Micah said that he will never get the sack lead again, and how he wants him to understand that he is the man in Dallas. If DeMarcus is going to put up 10 sacks, then as Micah would say, he'll put up 20. That level of confidence in his play after only one season is ridiculous for anyone except Micah, because Micah is a generational talent. He can back up his words with one-of-a-kind play, and there are not many at all who can do it on his level. But anyways, do you guys think Micah is the next big star in Dallas? Or did he just have a lucky rookie season? Let me know your thoughts. Micah Parsons is already one of the best players in football, plain and simple. And it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon.
Mahomes under pressure. Parsons knocked it out.
Thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below stuff you want next. But anyways, see you all soon, and peace out.